Hmm. Hey, everybody wondering why I played that video. Well, it appears Mr. Deion Primetime Show You Right Sanders has decided he wants to change quarterbacks. He's going to go ahead and give Mr. Casey a chance. Well, it brings me to another point. I want to break down everything we've seen, everything that's going to happen, and what Jackson State is hoping to do with this move. As you've seen from that footage, Mr. Casey was at the Under Armour Quarterback Skills Day over there in Dallas. Guess who else was over there at the same time? Hey, Coach. But first, I want to break down some things. Yes, it's very important we understand what's going on now. I understand people don't want to wait till the fall, but you treat this season right now as spring practice. And what do they have coming up in the fall? Well, one of the big things they have, people are realizing, is Breezen Ross. 6'2", 266, beast of a man from Vegas. What does he play? D tackle. Why is that important? Well, let's do it this way. At D tackle, the man is going to be up there, and they change from a 4-3 or whatever they're running right now to a 3-4. When you have a 3-4 defense, the first thing you need is big dudes up front. Another one they got, it's a transfer from Alabama. Hollis Miller. He played running back, quarterback, and D tackle. He's motivation. He's somebody to get to his ear. So looking at it again, when you bring that kind of person in, that kind of D lineman in, what else are you bringing around them? Well, outside linebacker, 6'4", 245, Abdul Malik McClain, bringing him in, 4-star prospect. Javaria Selman, another secondary, either corner, safety, 3-star prospect. You also bring in on their line, which is very important for what they need to do for offense, who was a 4-star recruit until he signed with Jackson State, and then somehow way he magically fell to 3 stars. Big Javante Gardner. You're saying, well, what does that even have anything to do with what's going on now? If you watch what they're doing, you'll see what's happening. On defense, I'll get back to Mr. Casey later, but on defense, they're switching to a 3-4. And I can explain it to you what a 3-4 is, but I'll let Urban Meyer explain to you the benefits better of a 3-4.
Can't count on either guard or tackle. I'm on an island. And a lot of times this nose guard gets right up on you where you can smell his breath. You snap the ball. If you step too far this way, he backdoors you. And the worst thing that happens is you give up penetration. So this is a nightmare for the center when you're blocking all day against a zero nose. You can see this on videotape. So Cincinnati defense, the nose guard is right up on him. And the center is hoping to have help. Most of the time you don't have help. Right here is the 2 defensive ends. This is the center, and there's your 4 linebackers. You can see penetration by the nose guard, knocks him back 2 yards for a minus yardage play. Now the second one is single box. Here's a nose tackle, 2 defensive ends, and once again your 4 backers. Your tackles are singled up on the ends, the center is singled up on the nose, and your guards are singled up on the backers. They're second level players. Guards hate that. They're 220-pound fast guys, and they get behind them, and it's a minus yardage play. The final reason are blitz patterns. This is the B, this is the will, that we call this a will mix. Obviously, they don't block it well. They cause penetration, bounce it out to the corner for a minus yardage play.
Coach, I want to go back to the increased blitz patterns. You talk about disruption. What it disrupts is for the quarterback, his communication with the offensive line, the running back, who they're responsible for in run blocking, pass protection. And the other thing is, it's only one extra guy, but it's one extra guy in the variety of blitzes you talked about you have to be accountable for, but also coverages. So after the snap of the football, I'm worried about who's coming, who's not, and how that extra guy is dropping into coverage where I'm trying to potentially throw the football.
You heard that. That's what they're switching to. Switching to basically a zone blitz scheme, aka Pittsburgh Steelers playbook. When you have guys coming in like Jackson State does, everybody talks about the recruits, Shador, DeJohn Warren, Gardner, Ross. You know, they talk about Armstrong, Herman Smith, the offensive tackles, the big guys like Lyles from Athens, Texas, who really is going to be a big stud. But I'm looking at the transfers. Niles Gaddy, outside linebacker. Miller, defensive tackle. Miller, who's also playing, who's making Missouri look bad right now, inside linebacker. McClain, outside linebacker. Shador Sanders, safety. And of course, Selman, who started this all off at cornerback. Your defense is being adjusted basically. Their offense, we know what the offense can be if they get some linemen. But the lineman is not really the big problem. So, what you gotta look at is Deion's team, the coaching staff, must make adjustments. Because as you can see, let's see if I pull it up. They are basically making the same plays on defense. Defenses are playing the same way against them. There are 2 ways to make these defenses honor what you want to do. And once again, I can say it, but it's better just to show it.
With our rules, we don't mess with the nose. We go all the way backside. First level defender backside. That in this situation would be the defensive end. Now we may game plan that we need to get a hand on the nose, but most times we're going all the way back unless it's just a guy that's really going to get penetration and knock off the pullers. Playside guard, he's going to step down. He knows he has his inside gap to backside linebacker, and we count a nose on the center, a head up on the center, as his inside gap. So he's going to come all the way down, try to get on the nose right there and watch him as far as he can to get a big wash. Playside tackle, he's got his inside gap, which is the B gap. He's working B gap to backside linebacker. Right here we have a 4. Not sure if he's going to be a B gap player, C gap player. That's why they kind of put those guys there to try to slow down those linemen so they can't just have a great free release to get up to the backers. So he's going to have a bit of an ooze step to see what happens here post snap, and he's going to continue all the way to that backside linebacker. Backside linebacker's a long ways off, so he should know that he's at the point of attack right now. There's no reason to leave that to block somebody that's not close to the point of attack, so he can help a little bit right there. The next guys we want to look at are the backside guard and tackle. Of course, on GT counter, they're pulling. First guard, or the guard that's pulling, he's trying to kick the C-gap player. He wants to get his play side shoulder on his, makes contact with his play side shoulder to kick him out. We want to kick out so we can get the quickest path to the end zone is a straight line, so we want to run straight if we can. Backside tackle, he's pulling. Perfect world, he'd be on this backer right here. Defense moves though, and if we get in gaps and all that, it might be different. Just might have to clean up. But he's pulling, and he's looking like he's going to get on that play side backer. Again, putting his play side shoulder on him, trying to kick him out. So again, we can have a straight path to the end zone. Right here, Oklahoma's in a 2-back set. Their play side back, they always send him to the number 1 backer outside the box. And again, he's going to try to put his play side shoulder on. Running back, he's basically reading the first pull of the guard, his shoulders. If his shoulders stay square to the sideline, he knows that he's going to try to get vertical. Same thing with the tackle, he's reading that guard's shoulders. If his shoulders get turned, maybe he gets wrong shouldered, or maybe somebody squeezes hard and he gets turned, he thinks that he's going to bounce it, and then hopefully that tackle will be out there with him as well, still reading that guard. Quarterbacks, what he has to do is he's get a C-gap reader. He knows the center's all the way back right there, so first guy off the edge is who he has to read. And what we teach the quarterback after he hands the ball off, he's got to burst past the line of scrimmage.
Now you see what he did here. By putting the 2 backs in the backfield, on run plays, you have a lead blocker. Also, if you're going to do a RPO, you also have someone who can slip out of the backfield as a receiver and still have an extra blocker for blitzes, which is one thing Jackson State keeps forgetting about.
Trying to hold those defenders, maybe take another guy with them. But that's kind of the breakdown of what they're going to do. So we'll play this and see what takes place. All right, so center goes backside. Guard comes down on the nose. Really no help. You can see Oklahoma State slanting almost to an over front right here, getting a four-man front. And they're rolling their safety, trying to roll another guy into the box. So they're really trying to get to a 6-man box. All right, another thing that's really interesting about this play is right here, the defensive end, he becomes a C-gap player. He slants outside, so the tackle has almost a free release to the backside backer, but since he knows that he's so far away, he gets a good push right there with the guard, really solidifies that guard's block, so that then he can work up to get on the backside backer to late. Once the tackle solidifies the block on the nose, helps that guy out getting up to that backside backer. We can really look at these pullers and see what they end up doing. Front side guard, or the guard that ends up pulling backside guard, he ends up kicking out, doing a good job putting his play side shoulder on the end. The end slants to the C-gap, so it creates a really easy alley. Backside tackle, he's looking for the play side linebacker. Play side linebacker flows over the top. You can see right there is the alley that we normally go into. It looks like the linebacker flowed over the top, so he's able to just continue on his track and try to wash him. Running back does a good job.
So you see, by switching to what's called a 21 offense, you get yourself an extra blocker, get yourself a better scheme as far as with the O-line concerns. One thing that we are seeing from Jackson is that when they do run the ball, their line is not really moving. I coach junior high school, and basically the schemes that they're running for their line is almost like junior high school. Get the big guys out there. If it's a run play, you push. There's no movement. There's no switching, no pulling of guards. The one time they did do it, they had a wide open touchdown. Got to throw the ball deep, man. You got to be able to play act. If you can't play act off of your run, you're one-dimensional. That means I'm going to sit here all day and I'm going to have 8 guys in the box force you to pass. You can't pass. I'll have 3 guys in the box and the other 8 sitting in secondary. That's just the bottom line. So you might think to yourself, well, that's on the run play.
Of finding the crease right there.
Run plays are fine. What about passing? This brings me to Mr. Quincy Casey. Yeah. This is the offense he was built to run. Him and Shedeur Sanders And to a lesser extent, I'm not going to lie to you, they have another quarterback on their roster who transferred in from North Texas. Watch him. But to a lesser extent, they can run this offense to perfection.
Again relies upon misdirection. Riley called
The whole thing about Jackson State, which I think needs to be known, I think most of the better defenses in the SWAC, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Southern, surprisingly this year, Pine Bluff and Prairie View surprised me too. We're going to find out, or they already know. Jalen never lined up more than 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Whenever there was a all-out 5-receiver set, he was going to run the ball. The safeties never went more than 20 yards backfield. The one time they decided to go deep, it was wide open because nobody respects his arm. You don't have to have the best arm if you can do the right plays, give the quarterback the right amount of time. Joe Montana didn't have the strongest arm, but the man got 4 rings. I'm just saying, this kind of offense is tailor-made for Jackson State.
the play right after the first one, with the offense now facing a 2nd and 2, still trailing by 3. It's the same 21 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and the same formation, which has been flipped to the field side. Again, the defense is in a 4-3, but this time both of their safeties are high rather than one showing blitz. The defensive coverage could be any sort of 2-high press. To the field side, the defense is again giving Oklahoma a 2 versus 2 look, and their slot linebacker Dante Booker again has inside leverage, leaving space outside. On this occasion, the offense pushes Rodney Anderson to the field side behind Trey Sermon on a pre-snap motion. They will fake a pinball sweep to Sermon, with both the left tackle and left guard pulling, and then they'll throw it to the field and Anderson's swing route. It is difficult to tell what coverage the defense is in, because of how hard they bite on the run fake. The second level truly believes Sermon has the football. Following the play fake, Mayfield leads Anderson well with the pass, and the favourable blocking numbers create a big gain. Anderson makes a nice cut inside to exploit the over-pursuit of safety Damon Webb, wearing number 7. The final instance of a split backfield that we're going to look at in this video came with 10:59 remaining in the third quarter. Oklahoma are down 10-3 despite dominating proceedings. It's a 2nd and 10 situation just inside Ohio State's territory, and it's time to execute. Here, the backfield alignment differs from the first 2 clips. Note how both the running backs are much flatter and are at a similar depth. Oklahoma is once again in 21 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, with that tight end aligned in the slot. The defense goes with another 4-3, 2 high safety look, with 1 safety shaded over the slot. The offense will fake the off-tackle run and then have the supposed lead blocker, fullback Dimitri Flowers, run a seam route. If that primary read isn't open for Mayfield, he has a post to quick out combo to his left. It appears to me that the defense plays another form of cover 1. This time the safety over the slot plays man coverage with that tight end. The other safety rotates deep and the 2 cornerbacks play that hybrid zone man coverage. The linebackers' coverage responsibilities are impossible to diagnose though. This is because they all flow downhill towards the run fake ultra aggressively. Mayfield does a fantastic job riding the mesh point. This leaves huge space in behind for the seam route, which is totally uncovered with a deep middle safety far off making the play. Upon catching the ball, Flowers does an excellent job setting up the deep safety in the open field. He fakes inside and then goes outside, destroying the pursuit angle and scoring on the 36-yard catch and run. Just look at the space in behind the linebackers. Look at how they flow downhill.
There you go. That's my belief on how Jackson State can go ahead and change this. The thing is with Casey, as shown before in his high school tape, he does get the ball out quick, a lot quicker than Jalen. Hut, 1, 2, 3, go. Don't pump. 1, 2, 3, release. If your line can't block for 3 seconds, you need a new line.